So I go to Walgreens the other day just to pick up some odds and ends that I needed in between my regular grocery hauls. And a guy comes up to me and says, "Wow, you look good." And I was like, "Thanks." And then we got into a conversation. And before you know it, he's making excuses why he can't do what I'm doing. He says, "I'm too old for this, and there's no way I can move like that anymore." So I said, "How old are you?" And he said he's about to turn 70. And I said, "Well, I'm 65. So I can do it." And it put him on the spot. Now, I'm not usually that forthright with people, but you hit a string of these in a row and then you just look around and you find out that all these people really do want to get into shape and look better, but they make the excuses over and over. You know why? Because the mindset is backwards. They look at the pain of having to go do something that's different instead of looking at the pleasure that you get at the end result. And so their brain itself shuts them down before they can even get to a mode where a dopamine hit might actually get them going again onto the next step to get back into getting into shape. There is no excuse for letting yourself go just because you're quote unquote old. I'm 65. I've got 2 really bad rotator cuff tears, and yet my shoulders are better today than before when I don't know, when I was 55, something like that. That's when I first had rotator cuff tears hit me. I look better in my shoulders today than I did back then by far. And it's because that forced me to really look at the shoulder to see what does develop the shoulders the best. Instead of letting the excuse be, "Oh, I can't do it because my shoulders hurt." I can't do any pressing movements, folks. None. I can't bench press. I can't do dips. I can't do, well, right now I can't even do pull-ups because the rotator cuff on my left side is really inflamed. And so for a while, I can't do that. But I can do seated rows with the entire stack for reps. That's 260 pounds, 4 reps. And my rep ranges right now is generally between the 4 and 8 rep range. And I can do that. Now, usually I ease up on that a little bit. I usually go like 240 for, I don't know, 7 to 10 reps. The point is, you can work around all of this. Now, my legs suck. And that's because when I was 38, I was squatting, and that revealed an injury in my back. It didn't cause the injury, but it revealed it. And it took until, 5 years ago, that my back finally felt good enough to where I can do a lot of things I couldn't before. I was close to being wheelchair bound. And that's because my doctor said, "Don't lift anything heavy." And so I didn't, and I got worse and worse and worse. And I became obese. But I'm fine now. I can get around. Now I know I can't squat. At least not yet. I'm actually working on it. That you've got to get in the mindset of how can I do it versus what is preventing me. Become creative. We are created in the image of God, which means we have the creative instinct that He has. He gave it to us. Figure a way around it. I've done it. Stay here with me. I'm going to teach you guys how to do this and change your mindset so you're not stuck when you're 65 trying to pick up your grandkids and worried about, "Oh, am I going to do something to myself, or I shouldn't do that, and I would love to run around with them at the park, but I just don't have the energy, or I don't have the energy like I used to do the things around the house that my wife wants me to do because I let myself go." Those days got to be over. Subscribe and let's go through this slow step at a time so we can reverse the mindset. I don't care what kind of workout program you have. It doesn't matter if you don't do it. I see all these videos talking about the best ab exercises and the best glute exercises and the best quad exercises and the best exercises for your arms. It all doesn't matter if you don't do it. You're going to look like crap. And it doesn't matter what the age group is. I generally talk to my 40, 50, and 60-year-old comrades and 70s, because that's where I'm at. But this applies to everybody. I see so many people in their 20s who are disengaged with fitness and with healthy habits, and they look around. This is not how we were supposed to be, folks. And the earlier you change this, the greater you have a chance of avoiding things like Alzheimer's and other diseases that I wouldn't even want to live with, even for 5 or 6 months. Parkinson's and different things like that. No, thank you. No, I'm not saying exercise gets rid of that. But the people that generally come down with this stuff aren't the healthiest looking people to start with. You get my drift?